What is up, everyone? We're basically at the end of the first month of the new year. And have you been able to keep with your fitness goals so far? Tell me in the comment section below. But if you haven't, today on InvestedWeAre, I want to share with you important information that you need to continue making progress on your fitness goals for the year. If you're interested, then keep watching. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification button for future uploads. And let's take a look at those truths that you need for your progress this year. The first piece of information that I want to share with you is that there is no secret. There's no perfect diet, there's no perfect workout, and there's no perfect plan. There's no perfect diet that someone can just hand you that'll get you from point A to B right now. There's no perfect workout that'll suddenly start working out the way that you want it to. When it comes to your workout and your diet, it's something that you have to take step by step, and from person to person, it always varies. It's okay that someone can hand you a diet, but it's better to use it as a template for yourself. So when it comes to your plan for this year, there's no perfect plan, there's no secret that no one is telling you. It's just a bit of effort. And I'm willing to help you on that journey for sure. The next bit of truth that I want to give you is that more isn't always better. And this is again in regards to your training and your diet. I know this year there are people thinking that the best course of action is to just train as hard as possible, to do as much as they can every single day. And that is a good mentality to have, but there is a limit to what you can take, and at some point it becomes overtraining. And if you're trying to lose weight, people take the diet way too harshly, to the point where it's not intermittent fasting or even fasting, it's just starvation. And if you're starving, you can't train properly. And if you're starving, you're generally not healthy. And at the end of the day, the whole point of your fitness goal or your body goal for this year is not only, I guess, look good, but to be healthy. So remember, more isn't better. So this one that I'm going to talk about is important because my stubborn self tried to ignore it. And it's that you cannot ignore your diet. Now, I've said previously in other videos that you can't outrun a bad diet. And that's not a joke. You literally cannot outrun a bad diet. It doesn't matter how many hours of cardio you do, you're not getting away from it. So start getting your diet in order. Don't just think that I will set up my training plan, I will set up my training schedule, I'll do this 5 times a week and blah, 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 blah. But you know, my eating, my diet plan, any type of eating schedule, I'll do it later. You will suffer more of it later. It's better to get it done now, better to get it done early, because just like your training plan, how you'll adjust your weights, you'll adjust the amount of training and your training time, you need time to adjust your eating. Maybe you don't like these foods, maybe you don't have to cook at this time. There are so many little things that you need to be adjusting that's better to start early. Because if your goal is to lose weight, then your diet is a bit more important than your exercise. So don't be the idiot who's trying to lose weight. You have your training on lock, your discipline is in place, and your diet is all over the place. That makes no sense. Another one that I personally suffered with was changing your diet. But it doesn't actually have to be hard. Now, I personally thought that changing my diet would be straight up impossible. Like I tried some of the trend diets, I tried changing my diets, keto and a bunch of other things. But at the end of the day, you realize that knowledge makes dealing with your diet much easier. Because all of these trend diets and keto and whatever have the same thing in common. It's calories in, calories out. If you don't know that, then it's going to be real difficult. I would say personally, the simplest thing to do is not to change your diet, not to outright change what you're eating, but to edit your diet. So to make subtle changes, maybe to take in less sugar, maybe to eat less shit. It's not about just, okay, I'm going to go keto now, or I'm going to go vegan now, or maybe I'm going to go paleo. Maybe you take out some of the smaller things in your life and you actually see drastic change. Because a lot of the time, it's not just about eating healthy or properly. It's just eating low calorie. And you can probably do that in your day-to-day life right now. Now, this one is very simple, but it's very important. And it's that willful ignorance is a simple path to failure. And the thing about willful ignorance is that you're easily taken advantage of. Like, you'll be looking for 6-pack shortcuts or lose 10 pounds in a week, But with basic knowledge, you'd actually be able to cipher off the bullshit channels with the bullshit information from the actually good channels that are trying to help you. So with all of these things being said, the most important thing for sure is that perfection is the enemy of your progress. At the end of the day, to be good at anything, you need experience. With your diet, with your workout, it's experience that you develop over time. But the only way to develop that experience is to fail. Because after failure, you adapt accordingly. If you're always trying to be perfect, you try your best not to fail. But if you're trying your best not to fail, you avoid situations that you can fail in. That means you never try to change up your workout, or you never try different foods for your diet, or at least change up your diet. Every time you try to be more perfect is the further you are from actually making the progress that you want to make. The goal for me is not to aim for perfection, but to get as close to it as possible. So I'll try, I'll fail, but I'll adapt. And every time I do it, I get a little bit closer. So these are some of the fitness truths that I learned that I wanted to share with you to help you make progress in 2021. So remember, if you can find an excuse, you'll always be able to make an excuse. So rather than always finding an excuse, find an excuse to do the things that you have to do. Find an excuse to get up and take your 10-minute walk. Find an excuse to get to the gym. Find an excuse to train at home. Find an excuse to eat right and actually learn what eating right is. If you enjoyed the video and you found any of this helpful, and you probably did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for future notifications, and share it around so other people can listen to some of this truth and make their progress themselves. This was InvestedWeAre, because we are invested in ourselves, and we'll be making that progress for 2021, and I know you guys are with me. I'll see you next time.